Shake and bake and full effect.
Oh my God.
Come on and get some, boys.
That is why they gonna be.
Yo, party people. It is Wednesday.
What?
You know what that means.
Good, YouTubeites. Welcome to Lords of the Long Box, episode 154, 5? I have no idea, man. First of all, before we even get started, shout out to my man Chad Crow for the not one, but two super chats. Huge shout out to Chad Crow. Hidden super undercover speculator supreme over there doing his thing, man. I hope y'all can hear us. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Before we get the show started, let's pay some bills, man. This show is sponsored proudly by our friends at KRScomics.com. Go to KRScomics.com, use the discount code of LOTLB to guess what? We up the discount by 5%. So when you get to KRScomics.com, go to KRS, get exclusives, and you use discount code of LOTLB, you get 15% off, and they are ramping up hot right now. They're going to have some exclusives for C2E2. So if you see them over at KRS Comics at the booth, tell them the Lord sent you, say what's up. Also, we have some KRS Comics variants that we are giving away that was kind of left over from our 3,000 subs giveaway. The way to do that is go over to the video we posted last week and just comment on there. Make sure you like the video and subscribe, and we will do the drawing at the end of this video. I will leave a link to that video in the live chat. So let me do that right now. And we're going to do a randomizer comment. You don't have to hashtag anything. Just make sure you like the video, subscribe, and right there, the video is in the live chat right now. And you will get that gorgeous Immortal Hulk Venomize, that treat power. That shit is dope. Hey, shout out to Discovery Bay. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Make sure you check out our friends at Discovery Bay. He's throwing out mad content like 3-4 times a day, it seems like. Our man JB is all over the place, man. So check out Discovery Bay, sub them up. Check out Chad Crow over on Facebook. He's throwing things down all the time. Once again, so the video is in the live chat, so make sure you leave a comment, like the video, and make sure you're subscribed, and you will get a chance to win a set of these variants. Hey, shout out to Pops Foster, the $5 super chat.
Pops,
you know,
what's up, buddy?
They just come in like, they come in waves, man, these super chats. So if you guys continue to do this, I can quit my job and do this full time. You know what I'm saying? So also the show is sponsored to by our friends at thegeekyswagshop.com. Go to thegeekyswagshop.com, use the discount code of LOTLB, and that's the same discount code you use at KRScomics.com, and you get 15% off anything in thegeekyswagshop.com. Pretty soon we are gonna put the sweatshirts back up for sale, since it's funny, like, you know, we were talking about the sweatshirts for a good month, and then when the hoodies finally came out, everybody like, man, I wish I could have got one. I was like, well, yes, you could have, but so we'll do that. Anyway, t-shirts always available at thegeekyswagshop.com. Also, the show is sponsored by our friends at rocketcomics.com. Go to Rocket Comics, tell them the Lords of the Long Box sent you, get 20% off your initial pressing, and anytime 10% after your pressing orders after that. You could also tell them 3 Men in the Basement sent you, but either or, tell them Lords or 3 Men in the Basement. I just saw Rocket at Cal Comic Con over the weekend on Sunday. I was hanging out with my man Rocket Comics, me and the Big To Do. We were just hanging out, shooting the shit. Saw my man Griff77. The guys over at Shortboxed on Instagram, took a picture with them. My man Jimmy the Human also hooked up with, I said hello to the guys at Torpedo Comics. Go shout out to Golden Age Guru. Saw him out there, man. For a small little show, there's a lot of big hitters that are there, man. So hopefully everybody is doing okay. My internet is acting a little swanky right now, so bear with me if I'm cutting out, then please comment in there below in the live chat. So let me introduce my panel. We are Short Manimal, who had to be called in to service at the very last minute, so he can't make it. But I got my man Nemesis Prime. Say what's up.
What's going on, everybody? Wednesday night. Really excited to be here, and got a lot of weird books and characters to show off tonight.
It's an interesting.
That's right. That's right. Got my man Otto from the Cell Block 9. Say what's up, Otto.
That's right. What's up? I think it's your boy Otto coming to you live from Cell Block Grotto. I think that's the official name, the CBG right here. So that's what everybody was saying. So we're digging it. It's Wednesday night. Happy to be here. New comic book day. Just pick up my issue of Killock #2. You guys get that. Phenomenal. Good read right there by our boy Levio. So pretty good stuff for new comic book day.
And my man holding it down in production skills, Ryan, Darkside Jedi. Say what's up.
Yo, what's up? Happy to be here. Missed you guys last week.
Were you gone last week?
I was.
Damn, that just shows how much we miss you. I didn't
know,
know
right?
you were gone, man. I was like, man, so,
I make such a difference.
You had to run it with StreamYard last week.
That's right.
I was all flustered and shit, man. I had to do graphics. I had to, manage the live
it's nice
chat.
when you don't
I
have
had
to
to
think
handle
about
the on-air talent or lack of talent on-air people that we had to deal with. I mean, good
it's
Lord,
one thing
man.
to talk. It's another thing to talk and hit buttons at the same time.
Yeah, I came here to chew on and kick ass, and I'm all out of ass. So what does that say? I think that's how it works out, man. But yeah, my connection is super bad, man, because YouTube is like buffering like me. Yeah. Boston. Yeah. So it says it's crazy lag. Anyone else freezing up? I wonder if it's just YouTube.
Of course it is, because we're on. There you go. It's a conspiracy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
looks good on my end.
Yeah. And your speed test ran fine, Otto? Or
Yeah,
Ryan?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Upload, download, good.
Well,
stream
when we're
is
on
green.
Wirecast, it's Ryan that's the only one we really have to worry about. So, but all right, we're gonna trudge along because later on we'll probably be putting this up on the podcast. I haven't done the podcast in a while. If you guys, people out the Lords podcast, just search Lords of Long Box on SoundCloud, Stitcher, and the iTunes. Man, I've been neglecting on it, but we try to make it so we all can listen to us and it's having a good time, man. So, if you guys are frozen, close out YouTube and open it back up. I just did that, and right now YouTube is working fine for me, man. So I think it's YouTube because I just closed my YouTube window and opened it back up, and it seems to be better now.
You know what? We have no luck with YouTube, don't we? They try at all costs to stop us, but we will not be stopped. All right, we have. What would you call these? I was just gonna say keys, but I'm like, these really aren't keys.
Yeah. So for those new to the channel, man, this is what we like to call our long-term spec list. This is from our longtime scooper. The Black Knight is an insider that wants to remain anonymous, and every now and then he gets some nice tidbits, and a lot of these come to fruition. So you'd be surprised, man. So the long-term spec list is characters that the Marvel Studios has reserved to use for either TV or streaming. It's odd that I have to say that now because it's Disney Plus stuff. Specifically, these characters are reserved to be used for a Thunderbolts miniseries that's coming to Disney Plus. I know there's been a lot of chatter about the Thunderbolts and they're coming here, near here, or there. I'm not speaking to any of that. I don't speak on to other people's scoops or whatever unless it's just totally off there. I go off of what we know, and what I was given was this list of characters that Kevin Feige has reserved to be used for Disney Plus. So when he reserves them for use for Disney Plus, that means that he doesn't want them to be used somewhere else, ABC TV, Hulu, FX, or Marvel Studios. This is a rather interesting group of characters. Thunderbolts. I knew I was going to say it. I was going to say Thunderbirds, or I was going to say Thundercats.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts has been talked about for quite a while now, simply because there's been multiple iterations of it. In the comics. They've been around for created by Kurt Busiek. It was a great read. Basically, they were villains as in disguise to be heroes when all the heroes were kind of gone, so they kind of stepped up. And then as the story progresses, they kind of grow a conscience and they become heroes. The first group was led by Baron Zemo. The second group was started by, I think, Norman Osborn, and the third group was Thunderbolt Ross. So I was talking to Mikey Sutton, and we kind of, there's this thing about Twitter scoopers and where to get the information. And I don't name them because most of them are useless. I don't even name RPK, who is, he's on my shit list now. He was good. Now he's a cornholio. But, all these guys, Charles Murphy and Daniel RPK, has slid up in my DMs on Twitter, befriending me, asking me about scoops and stuff. And I was just like, that's kind of weird. And I thought they were cool, but then they just turn around, they show their true colors, which are, assholes. But that's neither here nor there. MCU Cosmic has said my name before, and they all been negative about it. But at first they were chummy. But so here's the thing. I figured out how they got their scoops, at least kind of. What happens is they, like a lot of other people in Hollywood, get these one sheets, which are casting calls. And if you follow movies and know kind of characters, you can kind of make a guess on what that character is going to be. That's why half their shit is wrong most of the time, and the other half they just poking in the dark like a virgin on prom night, and they get it right. So there was something that was a casting call that was done about 8 months ago, and the casting call was for a Caucasian male in 40 to 50 years, and they called him the benefactor. Immediately, that's where the Norman Osborn rumors came from, which in afterthought, that's why people keep on going. When is Norman Osborn coming? When is Thunderbolts coming? Norman Osborn coming? Grace Randolph's crazy ass said that she saw the Oscorp building as, was Avengers Tower, which that was way off. So this rumor of Norman Osborn has been floating around forever now because of that casting call. Google it. The benefactor, Marvel. Not really a comic character, but there was a casting call for it done about 8 months ago. And so all the trades ran with it. And the scoopers who have these one sheets, these casting calls, they took that benefactor call and said they tried to put 2 and 2 together and thought it was, Norman Osborn. The same can be said with how they figured out the Mandarin. He was going to be a villain. He's kind of a rich character, and they put 2 and 2 together, and they got it. They got the Mandarin correct. So I mean, some of these casting calls are pretty easy when you kind of put it together. Kamala Khan was another easy one. They got the casting call, and the casting call comes from Marvel Studios saying, "Hey, we're looking for an actor." And then the casting call for Kamala Khan was a teenage girl who was of Middle Eastern descent. Right? Immediately they got Kamala Khan off of that. So it's kind of interesting if you get the right information and you can put 2 and 2 together, it's like this. But this long-term spec list is from an insider that has told us these characters are being reserved. Obviously, things are subject to change. This doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be getting a solo film or a solo series or anything, but we just know they want to use these characters in the upcoming Thunderbolts. That's how specific this is. These characters were reserved for the Thunderbolts. Got nothing. Let me see. Let me make sure it's still buffering for me. So let's hope everything works out in the long run. How's the feed looking, everybody, in the live chat?
The feed is having issues. I don't understand it though, because
some people were going back and forth with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing perfection on my end.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just YouTube, man. It's got to be YouTube.
I try to reset, like do a refresh on YouTube, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But to have to
YouTube
refresh
is acting
YouTube
funny.
all
It's
the
not
time.
our fault, y'all. It's the first time that it's not a Lord's.
It's not Otto's fault. That's the most important. It's not Otto's fault,
man. Let's go. Let's get right to it. I'm just gonna close out YouTube for now, so I don't want to suck up anyway. All right, so this is the long-term spec list from a man, the Black Knight, for the upcoming Thunderbolts, not Thundercats, Thunderbolts live action Disney Plus. And what I found out also from the Black Knight is he got this list and he said this is for a mini series. So I'm not saying this would be the first appearance of the Thundercats. They could pop up somewhere else, perhaps, maybe in a cameo somewhere. But for the Thunderbolt TV series they want to do for Disney Plus, and it's going to be a miniseries, either 4 or 6 episodes. And that's typically what they're doing with the Falcon Winter Soldier and some of these other things. They're just kind of like miniseries like Marvel used to do, right? In the comics in the 80s, hey, 4-issue run here. Let's just expand on the universe. And what's interesting is when we got this list, I just get the characters' names. And we kind of have to run through there, and Justin will speak to this, that we only get the characters' names. And so we kind of have to put things together and figure out, all right, which one of these characters, because you're going to look at this list, and some of these characters have 3 or 4 or 5 different iterations of them. Just like a character that Justin gave me the GPA for, and I go, wow, that's really high for this character. And I said, oh, that's a different character. And I immediately thought, is Justin sitting on a 9.8? Is that why he wants us to talk about this, this Avengers 19? But no. So if that would be a hint if you guys get it. All right, throw up the first one, Ryan. I'm going to take this one. All right, first on the list is our girl Moonstone, man. If you've been reading Thunderbolts, then you know who she is. All right, so first of all, Moonstone has been around forever and ever. Her first true appearance of just the character of, I think her name is Carla Sofin, was actually, if you want to go out for that, is Avengers or Captain America 192. But the iteration of Moonstone that's in the comics is actually Hulk 228 is the first appearance of Moonstone, created by the great Roger Stern and Sal Buscema, cover by Herb Trimpe and Bob McLeod. That is freaking awesome. So this is the first appearance. A bit of history on her. She ends up being kind of like one of those things in Marvel where they love stones. She's powered by the Moonstones. So she started off as a character named Moonstone. Then she went to a character named Blackout. She went over to the Masters of Evil, and then she was recruited to be part of the Thunderbolts. So if you don't know who the Thunderbolts are, right after the Onslaught crisis, the world of heroes almost disappears because of Onslaught, if you remember that. So under that guise, Baron Zemo became Citizen V, and they said, hey, man, we got a good chance to be heroes, but in the same time, we're going to be stealing shit on the side, right? So the Thunderbolts are really these heroes in disguise, and if you haven't read it, basically they end up growing consciousness or conscious, and they say, hey, man, I kind of like this hero thing. I want to be a hero. And so, that